these things are more planned than not. You know, it's like a lot of people be like, "Oh, I'm not into the conspiracy theory things and all that." You know what I mean? It's like, it's not a conspiracy theory, but I'm a believer in conspiracies. I'm here in America based on a conspiracy to enslave Africans, to enslave black people. I'm here based on that conspiracy. I'm here in America based on think about it. The eugenics movement was a conspiracy to sterilize and exterminate black people.
Sit up straight, hands on the desk, and just do like this. No, don't close your eyes though. Just open your eyes and say.
Put your hands down on the desk, John.
Hands on the desk. Put your hands on the desk. Like that, and just go.
Keep nodding.
That's the part I want. When you split his screen, make sure you get him with the cross eyes. Alright, you split the screen. Have the boy with the cross eyes.
Alright, Che, look.
Sure.
Look into the camera.
Che, look regular.
Che, don't.
Alright, Che, say this. Che. Alright, Che.
Peace. This is IC Justice, aka the voice of the Universe. This is another exclusive original action interview. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Almighty.
Wise, intelligent, poor righteous teacher, Jesus Jones, bunch of things, bunch of names, all things to all men.
Yeah. That's what it is. It's good to be building with you, Lord. Back again, live and direct. How's everything in your sight for Almighty?
Everything's right and exact. I'm growing. Family's growing, learning more, learning every day. So it's good, it's blessed.
Indeed, all things be constant elevation. So, everybody want to know. We've been seeing it all around the globe. We got to know, what's the science of the Jesus Jones Project, Lord?
Jesus Jones is it's my altered ego. When I say altered, I don't mean alter ego. I mean altered, like an altar, like where you sacrifice something on. This is where the ego gets sacrificed. This is where the ego is put to death. Jesus Jones is an urban youth. Whereas it deals with how the story of the biblical Jesus, it parallels the life of urban youth, or black youth in the inner cities, black youth in America in general, what we have to deal with. We're carrying that cross. The odds are stacked against us so much. We wearing that crown of thorns every day. We're born with the crown of thorns. It's like our crucifixion is being plotted out every day. So Jesus Jones is just putting, the urban youth in that setting, or bringing the biblical story to my hood, in the context of snipers, vipers, Roman guards, and just mass everybody around you, basically plotting on you. We have so much going on with the youth here, with the black community here, hip hop community as well. It's like everything that we do, any attempt that we make to liberate ourselves from this oppression, from this beast, it's counted. they're offensive. The offensive against us is so extensive. It's so pervasive. It's in everything that we do. I mean, every life-sustaining institution in this country is designed to impede us, in some way. So, we're like the carpenter's son. We're like the carpenter's son. We at birth, we're not even supposed to be born. It's like how the edict went out from Herod the Great to kill the baby boys, so they started killing the baby boys, and Mary had to flee with her son. And then she found out that she was impregnated. She had to bounce. That's what we're dealing with here. I mean, 80% of all sterilization clinics in the name of Planned Parenthood are in the black community. They're killing the baby boys. So it's like, they're killing the babies in general. So killing the black babies in general. 80% of all international Planned Parenthood operations take place in non-white countries. So it's like this is an extermination program. This is an initiative to wipe you out. So we're like Jesus in the biblical setting. We're under assault constantly. So we have to be as revolutionary as they were. So that's what the Jesus Jones Project basically entails. There's joints on there one joint called The Crown of Thorns. And of course, when the poor baby's born, they have prepared for him a crown of thorns, a crucifix, and a piss, a public school that don't teach him shit. The power structure's all lopsided. The noose apparent, though they try to hide it. I'm going to mourn to the day I'm gone, my head adorned in this crown of thorns. That's the chorus on the joint, but that's basically the gist of what we're dealing with the record. And it's a joint on there called So Jesus, where I'm, S-O-W, So Jesus, meaning, we can attain that. We can attain that greatness. We can attain that power. We are that powerful, and that's what the entire script is about. It's like John 10:34, where he said, "Is it not written in your law that we are all gods?" Well, the scripture can't be broken. And that's basically where I'm coming from with this particular project.
Indeed. That sounds like fire right there. That's what we need, that spark. When you say here, tell us what geographical area you represent, and tell us what is the importance of activism, some of the things that you have accomplished on your journeys.
Well, I represent, my base is New Jerusalem. Jesus Jones, New Jerusalem. Jersey is, is the root. Poor Righteous Teachers, Trenton, New Jersey, the land of truth, New Jerusalem. Activism is very important. It's very important. I mean, we're born into a situation where we have to actively do all within our power to sustain our lives, and the odds are against us at birth. We're in an environment that has made black skin a deficiency. So, we're fighting against that. We're fighting against everything from the criminalization of a race to absolute extermination initiatives. So we're born into an environment where we have to be activists. We have to be activists. I mean, we can't be, we hear people say, I'm an actor first and I'm black second, or I'm activist first and I'm an activist second. It's like, really? We're born into an environment where we have to be activists first, and whatever our vocation is has to be utilized to bolster or facilitate that activism. It's like we're out here. We're born. Think about it. You got brothers like 50 Cent. Get rich or die trying. that's his movement. He's like, yo, I was born in this situation where the odds are stacked against me, and he's interpreting his situation from a place of poverty and want of all things. So the paucity in which he's embedded in has created an immiseration that makes him erroneously believe that he has to get rich to change his situation.
Die trying.
Right, or die trying. And we all know from where we come from, there's more of us dying trying than there are actually getting rich.
Indeed.
So it's like, but the reality is he's actively trying to get rich. That was his thing. I'm actively trying to get rich because this is where I am, this is what I'm embedded in. So it's like we have to be active, in trying to facilitate or sustain our lives or facilitate the sustenance of our lives because, everything is against you. So I just think that, we have to be active. Activism, it goes without saying for me, activism is the most important and most overlooked element in hip-hop culture. I think that when Bambaataa, set out to mobilize or pull together all the urban subcultures, the graffiti artists, the DJs, the B-boys, the MCs, when he started pulling those urban art forms together, he wanted to motivate youth towards positive attitudes and lifestyles. He wanted to, get them to move away from gang violence. I mean, Bambaataa was a member of the Black Spades, so he was like, yo, we got to stop the killing. We need some love, peace, and unity, and we can have fun in the process of building this particular emotion. So it was an active movement. Activism is at the root of hip hop music, and I think that that's what has caused hip hop to falter. The fact that the hip hop community has strayed away from its root, which is in activism.
So in saying that, what happened to the balance of commercial or mainstream hip hop and like radios and video shows and programming?
I mean, what happened to the balance there? I mean, we don't control, knowing that we don't control the mediums through which, the mainstream mediums through which the culture is propagated. We can't control the programming. Well, what happened was the major corporations, they decided to shift from conscious programming. And for a more, they wanted to shift from fight the power to party and bullshit. And it was intentional. A lot of people say, well, conscious rap don't sell. And it's like, okay, I address this. I address a lot of this in the book that I just finished. It's called 3/5 NMC, the manufacturing of a dumbed down rapper. And in the book, I address a lot of this. Conscious rap don't sell, they say, and this is why they shift to gangster rap or whatever you want to call it. Or started flooding the airways with that particular brand of hip hop. But when we look at conscious hip hop, okay, the score, the Fugees. The Fugees did 17 million records, right? They did 17 million records.
Indeed.
The Fugees were considered a conscious group. No gangster rapper has done that many records off of one album.
That's real.
To my knowledge. I mean, then Lauryn Hill, with the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, did 19 million records.
Indeed.
And then when we go back, Public Enemy sold millions of records. These were platinum acts. Tribe Called Quest. Every record they put out as a group, all the way up to 1996. Beats, Rhymes, and Life, I believe. All their records went platinum. Every one they went out sold over 1 million records.
Absolutely.
Arrested Development sold 4 million records when they dropped their record. These were all platinum acts here. And we're talking about a time when hip-hop artists were not being marketed and promoted at the level that they're being marketed and promoted today.
That's real.
So the shift it wasn't about conscious rap not selling. It wasn't about conscious rap not selling. It was about what conscious music always has done. You know, and when we say conscious music, let me clear that up. You know, when I say conscious hip hop, I don't mean Wise Intelligent versus a Lil Wayne. I don't mean a Jay-Z versus a Mos Def. I don't mean that. I mean protest songs. I mean songs of protest, redemption songs, songs of liberation, songs that challenge the system. When they shift from those particular records to the current Like a Lollipop, Lick Me, Money, Hoes, and Clothes records. You know, the thing is, they knew what was happening. Let's, you know, like 1992, you know, it's insurrection music. They are countering insurrection. You know, they have insurrection laws in America. You know, every time there was an insurrection in America, the first thing they did was they went to the music and changed the playlist. We can go as far back 1832 with Nat Turner. You know, when Nat Turner's insurrection happened, what happened? They send legions of Christian missionaries into the South, into the churches, to determine what Negro spirituals could be played and could not be played, could not be sang or can be sung. So they were censoring the music even back then every time there was an insurrection. And what we see is right after Rodney King, the insurrection after Rodney King, we saw a shift in the music, just like 1832. We saw it in 1967. You know, we saw it in 1967. Same thing happened with the riots of 1967, the long hot summer. You know, 1967, those riots, they shift the programming again, and then we got all the black exploitation films and music that started coming out. You know, the Superflies, you know, the Dolomites. You know, we started getting all of that. Nigga Charlie and the Return of Nigga Charlie. These were the movies that came out. This was the media content that started getting pushed through mainstream after the riots of 67. So fast forward to today, we get the same thing. They changed the playlist. You know, so now the people are desensitized to police brutality. Oscar Grant get killed. I mean, you have Sean Bell. You know, in the riots, you know, there was no riot with Sean Bell. Nothing happened. Sean Bell was shot 50 times in cold blood. The police officers get off. There was no riot. You know what I mean? That has a lot to do with the musical orientation. As opposed to 1992, when we were fighting the power, when we were Grand Nubian, you know, when we were X-Clan, when we were like outrage, blood to the concrete, tears of salt. Now here's another word to make the other man foil. War, raised on the planet to a cave where oppressor didn't resist the aggressor. You know what I mean? This was where we were at. And we were prompted, we had the proper leads to, you know, we knew what was causing our problems. So we attacked the system, we addressed it. Today, you know, they shift the music. They understand that, you know, the concepts and practices of a culture are inculcated into the members of that culture via its arts, music, dance, so on and so forth. So that's what happened with the shift. You know, I was building with Davey D, you know, from out California. And he said that, you know, it's amazing that he said that's true because when he went to Africa in 1994, their playlist shift also.